Hello and welcome to another RostyMaths video. So today we're going to be doing some work on lowest common multiples. And as you can see, this is our curriculum that we're going through. And if you keep an eye on it, just remember to pause the video and you can follow along all of the topics that we've been doing in that order. It would be really good for you so that you don't get lost for anything. Anyway, without further ado, let's go on to lowest common multiples. So up here I've got some numbers pre-populated that we're just going to go through today. Now when we talk about lowest common multiples, I spoke about multiples in my last video on multiples. If you want to check that video out, check the link up here. I've got that video tagged there for you. Otherwise, wait to the end of this video and then you can look at it. But make sure you have seen that video all about multiples. So we're going to look at lowest common multiple. Now, there's a long way we can do it, like the way we probably did it in primary school, which is by writing down multiples of 20 and multiples of 30, and then we see which number they stumble on that's the same. So let's have a go at that, but that's not the method that we're going to be using. So if I write down my multiples of 20, I'm going to have 40, then 60, then 80, then 100, then 120, like that. And then if I put my multiples of 30 down, that's going to be 30, 60, and we have to stop here because that's a multiple of 30, that's a multiple of 20. It's the first multiple we've seen, so it's the lowest common multiple. And that means we can then now define what we're doing. So lowest common multiple, lowest means the smallest, common means the same, and then multiple, well, that means multiple. So you're looking for the smallest same multiple. So those are my multiples there. That's the smallest one, is the first one you're going to come upon that's the same. Well, okay. That's if we were in primary school, that's the way we'll do it. The way that I love doing it is using the Prime Factor Decomposition method, because in secondary school, this is a year 7 series, you're going to have bigger numbers than these. So what will be a really great method to use? So for this one now, I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to show you the Prime Factor Decomposition method. If you have seen that video on Prime Factor Decomposition, great. If you haven't, click on the pop-out banner up here and go and watch that video, because everything I'm about to do will be related to that video. All right, cool. Let's crack on. Prime Factor Decomposition. So first of all, I'm going to split my 20 into 2 and 10. I will circle the 2 because the 2 is prime. Then I'm going to split my 10 into 2 and 5. And I'll circle both the 2 and 5 because they're both prime numbers. And now let's do the 30. So we're going to split our 30 into 2 and 15. That's because 2 times 15 makes 30. And we circle the 2 because the 2 is a prime number. Then we're going to split the 15 into 3 and 5 because 3 times 5 makes 15. They're both prime numbers, so we circle those as well. Now, if you look back at my video on highest common factor, everything I'm about to do is going to be the same. Check that on the pop-out banner up here for highest common factor. Now, I'm going to put this into my Venn diagrams. So that's going to be my 20, that's going to be my 30. And the first thing that I do is I look for the common numbers. So the common factors, I should say. So I can see there's a common pair of 2's there. Let's highlight them. That means that in the middle here, I will put 2. Notice that I'm only going to write it once. I'm not writing it twice because it's a common pair of 2's. I only need to write it once. Let's see if there's any other common things here. Well, we've got a common pair of 5's there. So I'm going to highlight those. So therefore, I will put the 5 there. Again, only put it once. And then all of the spare numbers, there's a spare 2, so that will go out here. and then there's a spare 3, so this will go there. And now it's in my Venn diagram, I can find my highest common factor. Sorry, my lowest common multiple. That's what we're doing, lowest common multiple. Now, the highest common factor that I mentioned, by the way, if you remembered from that last video, it's going to be in the middle here. So that's my highest common factor in there. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the lowest common multiple, or the LCM. And we get that by multiplying everything in that Venn diagram. So 2 times 2 times 5 times 3. You can put it in any order that you want. And this is really easy to see. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 times 3 is 60. And that was the answer that we had before when we listed the multiples. And that's it. Okay? Now you might be asking the question, well, why couldn't we just multiply it from the tree diagram? Well, the problem with multiplying it from the tree diagram is that you can make the mistake and end up multiplying that 2 twice and multiplying that 5 twice. You don't want to do that. You will still get a multiple, but it won't be the lowest common multiple. Okay? All right, let's do this last one. If you want to, you can pause the video here and have a go. Otherwise, I'm just going to go through this question straight to the finish and then see if you get the same answer as I do. All right, let's go. So 54, that's going to be 2 and 27, because 2 times 27 makes 54. And then I can split that up into 3 times 9. 9 times 3 is 27, circle that 3. And then I can split my 9 into 3 times 3. And now all I have got will be prime numbers. And then now I go to do the 100. So because that's an even number, I will start with 2. So 2 and 50. Then I can split my 50 into 2 times 25. Then I split my 25 into 5 times 5. And we're going to find the lowest common multiple now. All right, let's rock on. So I'm going to do my little Venn diagram as I did before with my 54 and 100. Then we're going to find the common factors. So which ones are the common ones? Well, I've got a pair of 2's there. I like highlighting it so that I know which ones I've used. So that's 1, 1, 2 there. Any other pairs? So there's no other 2's on that one. There's no 5's on that one, no 5's on that one either. So all they have is a pair of 2's, nothing else. So now I'll put the rest of the numbers in here. So I've got 3 lots of 3 there. And then I've got 2 and then a couple of 5's there. And then now we got to go work that out. So the LCM therefore is going to be 3 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Pretty cool. All right, so now we'll just multiply these all out and then we are finished. So let's go and multiply that out now. So we can have 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 2 is 54. And then you double that 54 now, and that's going to be 108. And then 108 times 25. There's 25 lots, because I can just multiply those straight over. Okay, so 108 times 25 is going to be 2700. So unfortunately, the lowest common multiple for these two numbers is quite large. All right, so that will do it for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Anything that you liked about it, comments are welcome down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share it with somebody that needs to see it. Stick with me on this RostyMaths series, on this Year 7 series, if you want to strengthen your maths and strengthen your foundation ready for later years. But for now, from me, it's done. Peace.